Section 17, no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So, yung section na ito ay isang protection sa bawat individual na sa kahit saan mang uri ng paglilitis o isang protection sa pang-abuso sa kanila kapag sinasabi dito na dapat ang isang individual ay hindi maaring hindi pwedeng pilitin o hindi siya maaring pilitin na magsalita laban sa kanyang sarili o saan mang hukuman. So, sinasabi dito, also known as right against self-incrimination, affirms the right of the accused to remain silent, tapos taking fifth. Pag sinabi po natin taking fifth, paggamit po yan siya ng karapatan. Tapos, sinabi din dito na self-incrimination, hindi, ang ibig sabihin ng self-incrimination, based sa research ko, dito rin papasok na hindi siya pwedeng pilitin o para lang magsalita ng laban sa kanyang sarili. Or dito sa papasok din dito na affirms the right of the accused to remain silent. Dapat karapatan niya na manahimik or hindi magsalita sa lahat ng paglilitis sa kahit saan mang hukuman, dahil pwede itong gamitin sa kanya laban sa kanyang sarili, at ang mga karapatan na ito pwede niya rin gamitin para may pagtanggol ang kanyang sarili sa kahit saan mang uri ng paglilitis. Sinasabi din dito na the right against self-incrimination ay may dalawang aspect. The right to refuse to take the witness stand and the right to refuse to answer the incriminatory question. So, parang paikot-ikot lang po dito. Sinasabi dito na ang mga karapatan ng isang individual sa section na ito ay hindi sila maaring pilitin na sagutin ang mga ipiniratang sa kanilang mga tanong dahil karapatan nila iyon.
Self-incrimination checklist. A self-incrimination inside the courtroom or self-incrimination outside of the courtroom. So, may dalawa po tayong uri ng self-incrimination. Sa loob po siya ng korte at sa labas po ng korte. Ano po yung gagawin natin sa loob ng korte at yung mga nasa labas po ng korte. So, ang sa inside of the courtroom po ay, number 1, no person a witness of the accused. Ito po yung, kung maaari ka pong tumanggi bilang maging testigo laban sa iyong sarili. And number 2 po, shall be compelled or cannot be forced to testify. So, hindi ka po pwedeng mag-obliga na maging witness sa sarili mo. Pwede mo yung itanggi. Pwedeng hindi mo sagutin yung mga tanong nila sa'yo laban sa sarili mo. Mas na alam mo sa sarili mo na yung mga tinatanong nila ay laban yun sa'yo. Kasi maaari po nila yung gamitin in any criminal case. So, maaari po nilang apply to a criminal prosecution or result in the future criminal charge. So, maaari pong laban yun sa'yo na maring gamitin nila para makulong ka o maging guilty. Number 4, to be witness. Apply to testimonial or communicative evidence only. So, yung mga maaaring makuha nilang information about sa'yo ay maaari nilang gamitin bilang testimonial or communicative evidence. So, number 5 po, against himself. Cannot insert someone else's right against self-incrimination. Wala mo po sino man na maaaring maging laban sa sarili niya. Mismong akusado ang titistigo sa sarili mo or magpapatunay na may kasalanan ka. Dapat sila po yung humanap ng ebidensya na magpapatunay na ikaw nga ay may kasalanan. Accused is innocent until proven guilty. So, hanap pa po sila ng mga evidence na to prove that you are guilty. Or magkakaroon po ng probable cause. Outside of the courtroom naman po ay was the suspect is custody. Kung ikaw po na mismong akusado ay nasa loob po ng kustodiya ng mga pulisya. So, magkakaroon po ng interrogated. So, na yung mga tanong nila sa'yo ay laban na yun sa'yo, maaari mong maaari mong gamitin ang right, you have a right to evoke your self-incrimination. And then, did police inform that the suspect of his Miranda rights is prior to interrogation? Once na isa ka sa mga akusado, dapat una sa lahat ay i-inform kanila yung Miranda rights mo. So, ibabasahin po nila yung Miranda rights. Doon po, nakasulat din po na may karapatan kang manahimik. Kasi once na nagsalita ay maaari nila yung gamitin sa'yo. Kung ano man yung mga sinasabi mo na maaaring magpatunay na ikaw ay guilty. So, kailangan pwede kang manahimik o wag mo silang sagutin. Sabihin mo na, kasi ang section 17 is, no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So, walang sinong tao na maaaring maging witness laban sa kanyang sarili. Alright, again, a self-incrimination. So, may karapatan siyang manahimik or magsawalang itanggi mo. May karapatan ka na huwag sumagot sa mga tanong nila once na labag na yun once na laban na yun sa sarili mo. O parang ikaw na mismo yung nagiging witness ng sarili mo. And confusion. Grounds for excluding confusion. Not admissible. It is product of police violation of any following requirement. Mga officer na nag-iimbestiga or nag-interrogate sa'yo na nagkaroon po ng paglabag. Like, hindi po kayo nabasahan ng Miranda warning, isa na po yun sa maaaring hindi po admissible. Pag nagkaroon ng interrogation and confusion, kailangan free involuntary rule. Investigatory stop, arrest, and searches. Miranda safeguard or 5 amended privilege against self-incrimination during the custodial interrogation. In a self-incrimination. So, dapat magamit mo yun habang nag-i-interrogation sila. So, once na pinipilit kanila or gagamitan kanila ng mga violence, physical or para mapaamin kanila, labag na po yun. May karapatan kang manahimik, may karapatan kang itanggi, at may karapatan kang huwag sagutin ang lahat ng mga katanungan na laban sa iyo. And 6, amended right to counsel. So, may karapatan pong kumuha ng abogado para sa side mo. Outside the courtroom. Requirements, interrogation. Did police directly question the suspect or engage on someone tactic that was designed to elicit incriminating response? Yung mga tanong nila ba ay diretsa sa suspect na about sa laban na yun sa karapatan mo? By custodial interrogation, we mean questioning initiated by law enforcement officer after a person has been taken into custody or otherwise deprived of his freedom action in any significant way. Kung nandun ka na po sa interrogation, yung may mga tanong po yun yung mga law enforcement na about sa case. So, once na yun, mga tanong nila ay parang labag na sa kalayaan mo. So, ay section 17. Tsaka una sa lahat, meron tayong Miranda rights. Andito yung Miranda rights natin na prior to any question that the person must be warned that he has a right to remain silent. So, may karapatan siyang manahimik. Hindi mo siya mapipilit or maanuhan na magsalita kung ayaw niyang magsalita. That any statement he does make be used in evidence against him. Kasi syempre kapag magsalita siya, maaaring yung mga sinabi niya ay maging laban yun sa kanya. So, may karapatan siyang manahimik. Kung kahit anong sabihin ng police officer na ganito, ganon, ganito, ikaw ba yung pumatay? Siyempre, mayroong kakasabihin niya na I have a right of self-incrimination. Wala siyang karapatan na sumistigo laban sa sarili niya. And the presence of an attorney in either retained or appointed. So, andun din, may right siya na dapat mayroon siyang attorney sa side niya. habang ini-interrogation siya. Mayroon po tayong role sa section 17. The right is available not only in the criminal prosecution but also in all other government proceeding, including civil action in administrative or legislative investigation that possess a criminal and penalistic but not to a private investigation done by private individual. Gamit mo yung you have a right to self-incrimination sa kahit anong criminal prosecution sa mapag-government, civil, administrative, and legislative. Pwede mo yung gamitin. Only by the accused, but also by any witness to whom a question calling maaaring unincriminating answer. Itanong sa kanya, pwede niyang gamitin ang right niya na right of self-incrimination. A question stands is to incriminate when the answer of accused of the witness will be established fact which will be necessary link in the chain evidence to prove that the commission of crime by accused or the witness. So kasi kapag kapag may mga tanong na nasagot mo na maaari kasing magbigay sa kanila ng informasyon, na magbigay sa kanila ng ebidensya na gagamitin nila iyon para mapatunayan na ikaw ay nagkasala. So, hayaan mo lang sila na maghanap ng ebidensya nang hindi galing sa'yo. Parang sila yung gagawa ng paraan to prove that guilty ka. Hindi yung ikaw yung magpo-prove na guilty ka kasi innocent ka once na ikaw ay inaakasuhan. Pinapalagay ng korte na isang inosente ang isang accused. Maraming privilege ang mayroon ang isang pwede nating gamitin yon yung right natin na you have a right to remain silent, you have a right to self-incrimination. Ano mang mga katanungan na labag o na maaring maging testigo laban sa iyo ay maaari mong itanggi o maaring hindi mo sagutin ang mga tanong nila. It does not give a witness the right to disregard a subpoena, to decline to appear before the court or the time appointed. The purpose against self-incrimination is not self-eloquating or automatically operational. It must be claimed. It follows that the right may be waived expressly or implied by a failure to claim to the appropriate time.
Section 18. Section 18. No person shall be detained solely by reason of his political beliefs and aspirations. Dito sa unang paragraph mga buddy, sinasabi na ang bawat individual ay hindi tinatanggalan o lahat ng tao ay may karapatan para magboto at pumili ng kanilang kandidato. May karapatan din ito ang lahat na mag-post about sa kanilang kandidato at meron silang mga beliefs, paniniwala na dapat ay hindi natin is kinakalaban, is dapat is nirespeto natin sila. And may rule tayo dito. Freedom to believe is absolute, but freedom to act is an accordance with such political belief is limited. Yun nga buddy, lahat tayo ng tao ay may karapatan na magboto ng ating mga future candidates sa ating country. Pero kapag tayo ay nag-over na sa limitasyon na sinisiraan na natin yung kabilang partido is may batas na nakaayon doon. And every person has its own conscience, and this conscience, whether that of a rich or poor man, or that the weak or mighty, should not be restrained except when it's translated into action that directly transcended the law. Yan ang mga body. Yung pagboboto natin is karapatan na kaagad yan ng bawat isa. Na dapat is respetuhin natin kung ano yung paniniwala nila doon sa kanilang mga kandidato. And sa pangalawang paragraph, no person in voluntary servitude in any form shall exist except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Ito na mga body. Ano nga ba yung involuntary servitude? Unang-una, ito is yung abusing or threatening to abuse the legal process. Ito yung dapat is hindi natin ina-abuse yung mga tamang proseso na dapat is hindi siya pinipersa para makuha yung mga result na dapat. And taking or retaining the individual's personality, property, or real property as means of coercion. Yun na nga, dapat yung mga bagay na kinukuha natin sa isang individual is hindi natin pinipersa. Dahil kapag pinipersa natin doon na ipapasok sa extortion. Engaging in unlawful conduct with respect to documents as defined in section 301.14 relating to unlawful conduct regarding documents. Yun na nga din. Sinasabi rin dito yung engage na pagkuha ng mga documents is dapat is hindi siya illegal, hindi siya dinaan sa dahas o sa persa. And under sa paragraph 2 naman, a person cannot be forced to render service against his or her will. Right to strike is encouraged under section 8, but when there is a return to work order, they should comply, otherwise they will lose their job. Ito na mga buddy, meron tayong exception sa sinasabi kasi sa paragraph 2 na dapat is hindi tayo pinipersa sa paggawa ng mga bagay na gusto natin, katulad ng pinipersa tayo sa forced labor, dapat hindi yun ginagawa sa atin. And yung sa pagkakandak naman ng mga investigation is dapat hindi rin pinipersa yan. And meron tayong exceptions. Ang exceptions natin dito is in case of punishments for a crime committed. Ito naman yung exemption na kapag kunyari tayo is may isang individual na nahuli at yung pagbabataw sa kanya na parusa is yung pagtatrabaho is bibigay talaga dun para sa kanya. Kasi yun yung ukol sa kanyang ginawang kasalanan. And pangalawa, it is required to defend the state. Dito na papasok mga buddy yung pag kailangan na tayo ng gobyerno. Kailangan na tayo ng state natin, ng bansa natin para i-defend yung sarili nating bayan. Katulad ngayon sa West Philippines Sea, anytime pwedeng magpatawag yung gobyerno kapag magkakaroon tayo ng gera. Wala tayong magagawa doon kasi nga yun ay kailangan na ng gobyerno. At papasok dito yung Article 2, Section 4. Ano nga ba yung nilalaman ng Article 2, Section 4? Sinasabi dito na the prime duty of the government is to serve and protect the people. The government may call upon the people to defend the state, and in the fulfillment thereof, all citizens may be required under conditions provided by law to render personal, military, or civil service. Yung mga buddy, sinabi ko kanina, na anytime na magpatawag yung gobyerno natin about sa tulong ng kanyang mga mamamayan is kailangan nating atinan yun. Kahit may bayad man ito, wala. Kasi nga, kailangan tayo ng government. Tayo yung mismo magpoprotekta sa ating sariling bansa. And yung pangatlo is when is needed under the principle of post comiatus, render assistance to maintain order. Ito na yun kapag kailangan na talaga tayo is kailangan natin sumunod sa gobyerno natin to render their assistance and to maintain the order dito sa ating bansa. Yun naman po.
Freedom from political persecution, freedom from forced labor, unless of punishment arising from a conviction of the right of political beliefs. Sa political beliefs po, halimbawa po si Buddy Villaran po ay tumatakbo bilang mayor at si Buddy Dacquer. Tapos pinili po si Buddy Dacquer po dahil yung paniniwala ko po ay siya po ay makakatulong sa aming bayan at hindi si Buddy Villaran. Hindi po ako piling ikulong dahil lang po na pinili ko si Buddy Dacquer. Persecution is a cruel and unfair treatment of a person or a group, especially because of their race, or persecution of minorities victim of political persecution. Examples of persecution includes assassination and torture, violence, including sexual violence, arbitrary arrest, false imprisonment, and serious or ongoing forms of discrimination. Yung iba po ay nakakaranas ng torture or sexual violence, arbitrary arrest. Ganun po yung dahil lang po sa kanilang paniniwala. No person shall be detained solely by reason of political beliefs and aspiration. wala pong taong pwedeng ikulong dahil lang po sa paniniwala niya, political beliefs. But, however, a person group of people found and proven to have been consciously maligning or promoting public perception against another person or group of people by means of organized dissemination of fake and misleading information will be held liable to the laws established safeguarding truth. Kaya sabi po dito na pwede ka pong makasuhan kapag nagpapakalat ka po ng mga fake news about dun sa tao na kumbaga po kinakumbinsi mo yung ibang tao na iboto si Buddy Dacquer at hindi si Buddy Villaran dahil sinasabi mo pong masamang tao si Buddy Villaran. Yung nagpapakalat ka po ng mga maling information ay pwede ka pong makasuhan dahil po dito.
19. Excessive fines shall not be imposed, nor cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment inflicted. Neither shall death penalty be imposed unless for compelling reasons involving heinous crimes the Congress hereafter provides for it. Any death penalty already imposed shall be reduced to reclusion perpetua. Second, the employment of physical, psychological, or degrading punishments against any prisoner or detained, or the use of substandard or inadequate penal facilities under subhuman conditions shall be dealt with by law. Right against excessive fines, right to reasonable and humane punishment, the prohibition against cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment. Excessive fines are when someone is punished with too much money or property taken away from them. The government can punish people for breaking the law, but they can take away too much money or property. So for me, in my own opinion, this section 19, as stated in section 19, this section focuses on the right of a person not to be fined more than what he deserves. The amount of fine that she pays must be correspondent with the type of crime that he has committed, whether it be for the damages that have been dealt with or with the fine o yung sinasabi nating multa that is already a given for that said crime. The same goes, if not more, for cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment. These barbaric types of punishment, technically speaking, this law put an end to this type of punishment, are prohibited as stated in the law and known as the United Nations Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman, or Degrading Treatment or Punishment, o yung tinatawag natin na UNCAT noong 1984. The same goes for penalties as states in this section that the death penalty or corporal punishment shall not be imposed on someone, not be without someone without any compelling reason. So does that mean that the death penalty is still active and can be done as long as there is compelling reason? In a very general sense, the death penalty should not be applied as a general rule, but it may be considered in exceptional cases where there are strong compelling reasons. These reasons typically involve particularly severely or heinous crimes such as acts of terrorism, murder, or other violent offenses that are considered extremely egregious. An example of this type of case is the Leopoldo Echegaray case in 1999. As the years have passed by and even before the abolition of the death penalty, any death penalty imposed on a person would be turned into reclusion perpetua, which is 20 years and 1 day to 40 years.